GOP went inevitable and how no one will do anything, or saying that the Democrats won't act, that the GOP won't act. How can the NEG effectively argue if essentially any one, or either the two Democrats or the GOP that we talk about, that nothing's going to get done? They say GOP not concerned with the Keystone Pipeline, but yes, they are. CR Keystone evidence, Keystone Pipeline evidence from the 1NR. It says causes Keystone, that GOP winning causes Keystone approval. And they overwhelmed the veto, and that the GOP will approve the Keystone Pipeline. They will use Keystone to give back to Obama for some of the stuff that he's enacted while in office.
Such as
such as like the our Obamacare, which would be brought back into discussion for the physician-assisted dying for legislation, which would ruin the dentist's chances of winning, which is essential. When it comes to our impact, it says the Keystone, they dropped our impact. They say that Keystone Pipeline, that boreal forest solves extinctions. The Keystone Pipeline fuels betterment extraction, which destroys these forces that give off oxygen emissions by getting rid of these getting rid of these forces to put in this Keystone Pipeline. We're destroying these forces and essentially destroying human life as we know it. Also, they answered none of our cards on PAS linking the midterms. They can see all our cards creates a massive controversy with Obamacare, creating front page news and past gets framed as suicide, perceived negatively among the public. They said that the plan is popular, but we've read cards that said once PAS gets framed as suicide, the public will take this in a negative connotation. And even if they like the concept of PAS, they hate the legalization of it. This causes the GOP to win, leads to Keystone, death of boreal forest, and the death of migratory bird populations on the palliative care. They said that the PERM works, but we specifically said in the 2NC that the PERM Rex Advisory Council process, which is a Schwartz 11 card, and that legalization creates a financial incentive for PAS and crowds out other forms of medical decisions. The permutation does not work. So our counter plan of increasing funding for palliative care consumes all of the impacts that they have in their app, because we solve their affirmative, but in a different way with palliative care, where we're not taking these people away from their loved ones.
Finish up, what is it, 355?
Yeah, 355.
Thanks.
Sure.
There's this in the flash drive there.
All of, yep.
Okay.
You want it just in like one big document, or just preferably like separate?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It can be separate, and that's what you have.
There. Just check.
And if not, like every, something like that. I was gonna look.
Oh. Yep. Yep. Everything is on there. Mm-hmm.
to the, let's see, the physician patient, decide, and then we'll do midterms. And then the palliative care plan, and then we'll do the on-case, autonomy, dignity, salt.
So, 60 order really quick.
Yeah, I was gonna do physician and patients, relationship with that, and then the terms,
Okay.
palliative care, oh, we're doing impact note first, and then, physician relations to SAD, veterans to SAD, palliative care, and autonomy, dignity, salt. All ready?
1 sec, sorry.
All set? Okay.
Good to go?
So, Judge, even if they win the midterms which leads to extinction, our impacts on waiting time, autonomy and dignity is given to terminally ill patients immediately once passed. There is an unknown amount of time like extinction if midterms do happen, if their midterms impacts do happen. The probability of the next impacts happening is slim to none if we even really know what that probability for extinction is. 100% probability that people do not have full autonomy or dignity right now. People cannot choose PAD. People cannot have a dignified death. These are two inherent rights non-existent in today's society. We need to fix this now. There is no question that people don't have autonomy or dignity since they can't choose PAD. And we've proven over and over how that if people can't choose to end their life and be able to die peacefully and painlessly, then they do not have full autonomy or full dignity. And the magnitude of the NAEPS plan is questionable since the probability and time frame is not known. However, we know that by passing our plan, we will affect everyone now. It will give everyone autonomy and dignity. All of the terminally ill patients will be affected, and even if they're not terminally ill, people's autonomy will increase because the government will no longer have as much control over whether or not someone can choose PAD. Also, the government will have more limited control over someone being able to die painlessly and peacefully and in a dignified way.
They dropped our advantages. We get 100% claim fees.
Yes, they dropped our advantages. We have 100% claims impacts onto the decision patients is that. They said we drive stem cell research. We say we don't because the whole link to this argument was the medical ethics. We proved it with the doctoral campaign since 11, and our safeguard collaborative model was solved. Mr. Lewis called the Davis Hill Doctors won't infringe on patients because they won't have unlimited power. Rather, the many safeguards in the collaborative model will protect because this will give them autonomy and dignity, dignity, and safety to the patient. We took out their link to this argument, therefore they don't have impacts. Onto the midterms to SAD. Their phone card is not specific to anything, it literally just says some preliminary results are skewed. That is why we provided two different cards to show that the GOP is going to win. Also, that at least one is right. Also, prefer our cards because we have not the most recent uniqueness, which is as of today, the McCarthy card, which clearly shows how Republicans are winning. They provide just one piece of evidence on this wall, whereas we provide two and a more recent one for ours, which is that GOP wins. This means that they have no access to their impact. The restitution is very clear that when GOP gets into office, they're going to have other concerns in their mind. There are many other pressing issues, and this is not one of them. They are not going to focus on it. They're rather more pressing issues. Don't let them claim this Canadian bird impact was brought up too late in this debate to make it a fair test competition. Also, they dropped their other impacts in the NAEPS block. They can't just claim these in the last speech. They also made the comment in the last speech that once PAS is legalized and abuse of suicide, then people will not want it. This is why our advantages are keeping us to show that this is a crucial issue for people's liberties. People want liberty that's just as well known as fact. Think about when people were denied the right to vote. They fought for it back. When people see this freedom is denied, they want a PAD. Onto the palliative care. So we have proven that GOP will win, but even if they win midterms and how these exchanges, we've already proven how our impacts outweigh this. Onto the palliative care counterplan permit can work. We can incorporate palliative care into our plan. In fact, we do. Patients are offered things like palliative care before they are offered PAD. This is our Lewis 12 card. They double turned themselves when they said their advisory board was made up of doctors. They said that doctors were going to infringe because of medical ethics, etc. But their advisory board and their counterplan has doctors. So yeah. And it's in this 12. Palliative care is in this 12. Even increasing this won't solve for autonomy and dignity, which is why we're running this plan. We're solving for autonomy and dignity. Their counterplan doesn't solve for it. This is why it is so crucial for us to perm do both to the counterplan and our plan, because the counterplan alone doesn't solve for anything, and that's why perm is best. Also on case autonomy, people don't have it now. Not the government's place to choose who has autonomy. People can't exercise what is their inherent right of making their own decisions and controlling their body. There's no value to life and no reason to live. Every single person suffers from the epidemic of having no lack of autonomy. Our plan allows for each terminally ill patient to decide to end their life. It limits government's controls over our body by freeing up the regulations over when a person's most important decision of their life and moment of death. If someone wants PAD, is eligible for PAD, and have gone through our safeguards, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to exercise their inherent liberty and choose PAD. They said that that value of life doesn't outweigh, value of life is subjective, value of life does outweigh. Without a value of life, there's no reason to live, there's no reason to go on in life. Also, they say value of life is subjective, it is not subjective. Every single person in the world wants value of life, they want a reason to live. Also, onto the dignity. They didn't adequately address this advantage at all. It's important because people can't have dignified death now because our plan is not in place. People don't have the option of being. They can choose to not be put in trial like helpless state. Having to go up to terminal locations and tell them to wait it out for the next few months, it's inhumane. They deserve to give this instead of being stuck in a hospital bed for days to weeks to months. Reducing people to the state of inhumane, we must allow PADs so that people can die in a dignified way. Taking this right away from them is increasing their pain in many different ways. We've proven this value of life is not subjective. Every person deserves value of life, and it is an inherent right everyone wants. Without value of life, people don't have any reason to live. Solvency. By implementing our plan, we know that right now everyone will have increased value of life because they will have more liberty, a right to choose, and they will have the ability for dignified death. Without autonomy and dignity, other decisions a person made in their life end up being limited. Without complete control over oneself and the ability to end one's life in a dignified way, people lose their value to life. If people do not have the ability to have this influence over their last days, their other days become less important. If they're limited in this decision, their decisions become limited. If people can't decide and can't die in the way they want to, then people's liberty becomes meaningless. This is one of the most important moments of a person's life, and if we don't solve for it now, there's no point in trying to strive for values, life, and dignity. Our plan is unique because it's many safeguards as well as effective. We know it works, as we've seen in Oregon. Let's continue to spread autonomy and dignity. Our plan solves now. Our plan solves now. There's a 100% probability, and it affects everyone. That's time frame, probability, and magnitude. So for all those things, where they unsure. They drop their advantages. Vote out because we outweigh our impacts.
Good debate.
Good job.
I like the constants.
Good job.
Nice job, y'all.
Nice for the two AC cards on elections and physician relations.
Yeah.
The physician relation stuff is.
All the cards came up, okay, we, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
For
here.
sure.
Yeah.
You said midterms?
In
Yeah,
physician
midterms,
relations, right?
relations, yeah. Here you go, here's your question.
Yeah, because I'm probably walking out of here.
Okay.
For the physician relations, we extended the one I see.
Yeah, the one I see cards.
Yeah, did you already know that?
Yeah, just,
all those.
but let me, is this got enough juice to stay or for a minute?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Smith 11, the US 12, and the data.
Yeah, okay.
And then the midterms, was it, and you scrolled down for physician relations.
Excuse me, Judge. When you give your decision, do you mind if we?
Yeah, you can record it.
Okay, thank you.
That's how I remember that.
Yeah, yes. I'm always bad with that. Is there like a document?
Sorry, what?
Is there a little, what do you call it?
Like a navigation thing?
Yeah, document map or whatever on the side?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
sorry. Yeah. I'll pull that up, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's okay.
Just gotta find it.
Yeah, I'm just terrible with maps.
No, I just got this
Yeah, the
summer,
moment I
so.
touch them, I like immediately like go off the screen.
It makes sure the better. I
Okay,
dislike
for
mine
you.
very
It's
much.
on midterms and,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where it was.
Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
thank you.
Yeah.
Give a verbatim.
Hmm?
Give verbatim.
Verbatim.
Never mind. It's just software that it makes it easier.
Oh, I don't
See
see
a little.
Is it going
roadmap
down
on the
for you?
side. Mhm.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Usually with a little roadmap on the side.
Oh,
I
okay.
always forget I need to scroll with the mouse pad. That's-
Yeah, I know.
I'm used
Sorry
to
about
like
that.
a Mac where I just scroll with the arrow buttons. I always do that to myself.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, this one.
All right. If you don't mind, I'm gonna hit this up. Give you this brush as well.
Probably Chase.
Is that you?
You're super American, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what gave it away.
I mean, the whistling, it wasn't the outfit.
No, it's definitely the whistling.